Right.
So glad.
Without it being like
a production.
Nasty. Like, I didn't want to be that nasty person that was like, oh, these kids are over here. But
yeah,
I felt like that. So,
but I think, have you noticed that have you paid attention to notice that some restaurants really do try to seat people with kids all in the same general section of
right.
I don't like that either, though. I'm like, my kids behave. Like, why you got me over here with these little jokers running back and forth around the restaurant and
peeking over
and looking at, yeah. Like, I'm funny about that. I would not, when Ainsley and Brooklyn were growing up, I wouldn't let them turn and bother anybody in the next booth or the table next door. I didn't do that. So I even almost get grumpy when they seat me in those wild child areas.
Your kids are very well behaved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
And mine were not. I mean, my son has the loudest voice in the world. Like, so I knew for a fact we would never bring his butt into the Mercury when he was 3, and he hardly can control it now that he's 11. But when he was 3, he was wide open.
He didn't know.
And Layla be headbutting everybody. Like, it was just like, it was a hot mess. And I knew it. So I stuck to Cracker Barrel, Folks, IHOP, Golden Corral.
You are so...
or good old-fashioned at home. Okay? And I know they need...
good old-fashioned babysitter.
They need socializing skills. I get it. And there's levels to it. So I will bring them to the Mercury. They would love to go to the Mercury right now, but not 2 years ago. And they are 9 and 11, 12. So I just feel like, just know what they can handle, what they can't. Like, yeah. So I asked World Famous when I got home, was I wrong? Because I was kind of like, I felt bad. I felt like I was child shaming a little bit. But he was like, no. He was like, you deserve to have your peace of mind in a place where you're paying a good amount of money for your meal and for your drinks. Like, so we were actually this is another side note. So it was a black family, and then the group that was cutting up within the black family was the biracial couple. And we were like, well, why doesn't this black woman control her kids? Is it because she has a white husband? Like, I don't understand. Did that happen? Are we not going to talk about that?
Because I'm just like, I wasn't ready for this topic.
Well, Amy, who is white, was at our table. So it was a discussion that we had. And Alicia was like, why is she acting like she wasn't raised by a black mom who understands what to do with the kid? Like, she was just acting confused. And I don't know many black women who act like that with their kids. I just don't.
So in my experience of just observing out in public in different places, Disney World or,
right, diverse
Texas
environments.
Yeah, diverse environments. I am a people watcher, airports, different places. Yeah. I've observed in my experience that sometimes, oh my gosh, I have a perfect example, my aunt. Okay. Sometimes when a black or brown mom is married to a white man, I have noticed that they sometimes assimilate to the raisings or the cultures of what a white mom would be when they're with a white dad. Okay. And I always thought, that there are varying factors that probably contribute to that. Right. I'm like, well, maybe her mama was super mean and she always looked at her white friends and said, oh my gosh, their mamas don't talk to them harshly or, whatever. Or,
all black people aren't raised the same. True. But I do find there are a lot of commonalities, regardless of where you were raised, where you were born, that is, black.
Right. How do you think Black Twitter survives?
Right.
Because there are those commonalities.
Where it's like, oh, okay, I understand that. Now, Black mamas, to me, are the same until I've seen this. But in my personal experience of African American women and Caucasian men, it also seems like a lot of the white men go along with the stronger Black woman personality. So she rules the kids, and he's like, okay. Like, I've seen that a lot too. So I think that's what threw me off about her, because I'm like, we're in Atlanta, you know, like, come on, girl, get your kids. I just didn't even think about the fact that she would be submitting to his authority about kids,
about rearing children,
because moms rear the children in most cases. I'm thinking about me and World Famous, and he likes to take the reins on a lot of things, but he definitely was like, you lead me in this mama stuff, and I definitely was able to make a lot of decisions about the kids that he would be like, okay, and he would reinforce it.
Yeah, we kind of take, oh goodness, we go back and forth. We do the collaborative model, and then sometimes he does try to make me the end all be all authority with, and that gets on my nerves.
That's
sometimes.
My fave.
I don't like it.
Well, now that the kids are transitioning into preteen and teen, you know, we know, because we do parenting and marriage stuff, that it's almost the dad's turn. So teenage years, I'm definitely going to be giving him the reins. But that rearing, all that, you know, basic stuff, he was like, here, whatever you want to do, I'm there for it. But I'm going to have to start following his lead when it comes to that teen stuff.
And it's so funny, as you have probably already figured, we are opposite couple. You know, we're an opposite couple from you and and World Famous. I'm sorry. So I feel like he was the better parent of the little bitties.
Oh.
And now, right now, I think I'm back in the lead as far as understanding them.
What's going on?
Yeah. And then I feel like at the very beginning of the teenage years, I'm still going to be that one. But then it's going to be a real life collaborative for the teenage years. Because I know that that's when, I'm not proud to admit this, but that's when I drove a wedge between my mama and daddy, because my mama understood me more. My daddy was very hard-nosed and did not want to allow me to do things. And my mama was reasonable. She's like, listen, let her go to X, Y, and Z. And before we ever had kids, I told that doctor that we have to be on one accord. We will not make decisions on the fly. We need to have a meeting outside of the kids asking to come to a conclusion. And we don't ever show our hand as to which one said no or yes, so that they can't play mom against daddy, because I did that. Right. Unfortunately.
Yeah. And my dad just would default to my mom.
Yeah.
All the time. So she was the hard-nosed one.
Because he didn't want to say no.
No.
And he knew she would.
Right. And he was like, oh.
Ask your mom.
I don't really want to think about this. Like, just, it don't have nothing to do with me.
I hate that one. Ask your mama. Ask your daddy. And then they would send me back and forth sometimes. And I'm just like, what is this?
Then you start saying stuff like, I already checked with mom. She said yes.
Yep. Yep.
So, anyways, I look forward to the teen. I think I've said on here, I'm kind of obsessed with teenagers. So I look forward to trying to navigate in a place where I'm probably not going to be obsessed by the time my kids become teenagers, because they're going to be mine. So I'm going to be like, uh-oh.
Right.
It was fun when it was other people's kids, but now that it's mine.
I know, and I think about some of the conversations when I was at the high school, some of the things I talked about with them that they were not able to speak to their parents about, that I had to help them navigate through. And I'm just like, okay, Lord, how do I make sure that our relationship is such that they feel like they can come to me about these things that these kids are coming to me about instead of their parents when I was in high school. So that's going to be the challenge.
Yeah. So,
put your cursor where you're trying to tell me.
Well, that was a friend fix if I don't say so myself.
Or that was a friend fix if I've ever seen one.
If I do say so myself.
If I do say so myself. If I do say so myself. If I
and there's people who really want to hear you sing, and I tell them no. Because I'm in charge of Instagram. Yes. And I am the one that says, denied. She won't. Yes. She won't.
Why do you hate on me?
Lauren Hill. Mm-hmm. So this might be an elephant in the room that I'm just thinking about. And I'm sorry because it's not on our schedule on our plan. But the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is my favorite album.
Of course, me too.
Of all time. And that is actually on top of Beyonce. And I love
me too.
Her and Beychella.
Me too.
So, I hate you. So, I mean, classic. Talk about classic. Talk about like meaningful. All the life experiences that I connect to the Miseducation.
Right.
I even posted that I bought that album 3 times.
Mm-hmm, I saw that.
Thank God for iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, all that, because I probably would have continued to buy more and more of them CDs because something happens, they get scratched, blah blah blah. So she's coming to Atlanta. I really, I've seen her about 3 times already, but this is the 20th year of Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And I really want to see
20 years.
I know.
It feels like yesterday. That was some good stuff. Girl, I sang. I sang Lauryn Hill.
What song?
And deep in my heart, the answer. Don't start rocking.
It wasn't me. And I made up my mind. That's Kisha.
No, it's not. Please don't believe the hype.
You guys wanted her? Now you have it.
God is so good.
Congratulations, Kisha. You finally got to see.
Nope. Anyway, I actually won the Miss Black and Gold pageant.
Okay, Ski 5.
Singing one of the...
Singing that song?
Singing that song.
Who sang it with you? Because there's 2 parts.
I think I sang both.
Both at the same time?
Because...
You would.
Yeah. I harmonized with myself before those videos.
Wait. Okay, so we'll get back to Lauryn Hill, but those videos have to be so hard.
They have to be.
What in the world? You sing that 19 times?
So basically, the way I see it, because I haven't researched it.
Please tell me, please.
Lord, help us with our digression, Lord.
We are ADD.
Yep.
And that's fine.
All the way.
So please tell me.
In the way that I see it, I haven't YouTubed it.
Right.
But I just see them recording the first level once.
Yes.
And then they harmonize with that one.
Oh.
And lay it on top of that. And then they go on it with that 3-part on those 2. Like they're watching it as they're doing it.
I feel that too.
By one.
And all the way around the screen. So then literally there's 9 of them singing the same.
Right.
Is that possible? Mm-hmm. Are there 9 octaves to a song? Like
Well, like one of the little dudes did a round.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
He did that round in harmony. This is a Christmas song.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I get that. So literally, exactly how many years does it take to make one of those? Because, I definitely understand editing a little bit.
Right, because you are an expert.
And, I just don't understand. This is the reason why I don't want my son to learn how to sing, because I don't want him doing that. I specifically specifically told my husband,
God,
I don't want my son to sing because he's going to start making